Hi, you guys. Oh my God, that was a rush. I was on the phone with clients and I was like, oh my God, I have to go. I'm so excited about today. This is a conversation that I really love, but that most people don't know that I have with my clients. Um, so I have notes because I really thought about this a lot in the last couple of days. So I want to ask you a question. And, I always forget this part. Okay, so hi, if you're here, say hi. I'm actually going to make sure that I can see you. Let's see, how do I do that? Okay, because it doesn't show up on the StreamYard thing. Oh, it's Becky. Hi, Becky. Let's see if I can make this happen. Come on. So some of you will show up with your names so I can see who you are, and some of you won't. But, I guess that's just the way it goes. I don't know how to make this happen. So because I'm on StreamYard, if you want to make comments during or talk to me during the live, you actually have to go into your Facebook and allow StreamYard to be an app that you can comment in. I know that was complicated. Maybe next time I'll put the directions of how to do that. But in the meantime, hi, Becky. And for any of you that are here live, please say hi. And if you're watching the replay, let me know that you're watching the replay, just so that I know who's been here. If you want the notes, so let me just tell you, the notes for these have been so great. Yeah, if I do say so myself. I say that about my cooking too. My husband always laughs. He's like, yeah, if you say that yourself, right? But yeah, so the notes have been great. So if you want the notes, just say so. And they'll come to you at some point next week because it takes me a while to get them together. And then my team has to post them and all that stuff, okay? Okay, so how many of you, when was the last time that you went on a real date with your spouse? Hey, Jana, how are you? All the way from Italy. I love that. Okay. So when was the last time you went on a real date with the person that you love? As a business owner, most of the time date nights are haphazard, right? Oftentimes you'll schedule date nights and they'll get canceled for one reason or another. Either you have to stay at work or, maybe nobody planned the babysitter or God knows, for so many reasons. And that's so romantic. Not. So for those of you who don't know me, most of you probably do, but those of you who don't, I'm Dana Corey. Yes, I'm a business strategist. It says that right on the screen. I work with established, successful business owners to grow their business and to actually have a life that they love while they have a business that supports their multifaceted life. I mean, that's pretty much the easiest thing. But before I did this as a business, I sold sex toys for 10 years. I've talked to hundreds of women, couples, men about what it takes to stay connected to your partner and not just in the bedroom. That's the whole point. This is not just about the bedroom, okay? So I developed a really specific set of guidelines around date night that are really fun and really work. Okay, so are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, so here they go. The first one is you have to set a schedule for date night. Every week if possible, although we know that for some people that just doesn't work, right? Like it takes coordination. You need somewhere to send your kids if you've got kids. So every other week will work. Once a month is just too little to keep your relationship going. And let me just say this about that. People say that relationships are hard work. And the truth is that it's not that it's hard work. It just takes consciousness. It takes thinking about it. It takes putting your energy into it. So yeah, do you have to have date night? Of course not. But let me tell you, if you're not going to commit to spending quality time with your partner, why are you married? Sorry. Can you see I'm a little judgmental about this? Sorry. Anyway, so set a schedule. In our house, we're empty nesters. So now more nights are date nights than not. And with the pandemic, we have date nights at home that, sometimes don't look at like date nights, but we do still once a week try to get out of the house together. Okay, so schedule, right? 2, take turns planning date night. So this is the best thing, you guys. So one of the things that I really hate is having to make all the decisions. Like, one of the things that I really hate is when my husband says to me, where do you want to eat? I don't know. You tell me. Where are we going to eat? Or I don't want to make another decision. I'm so tired of making decisions. So here's the best thing about planning is that you take turns owning date night. So what does that mean? One person takes it one time, the next person takes it the other time. And here's what you're responsible for when you own date night. Okay. When you own date night, you decide where you're going or what you're going to do. You decide everything. The time, if it isn't, so, our date night times are flexible. Date night can still be in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday. It doesn't have to be at night, but that's because we don't have any kids at home. We have dogs. But when our kids were little or younger and at home, our date nights looked like evenings, right? So after dinner or the kids would have dinner and then we would go, or, you know what I mean. Okay, so you take turns planning. Can you see I'm all over the place because I'm so excited about this one? Okay, so when your partner owns date night, you're being taken on a date, okay? You get only to ask these questions of the person who is planning it. The questions are, what should I wear? Because you don't want to show up in a cocktail dress if you're going on a hike. Like, that would be stupid and embarrassing. It would be embarrassing. This is about having a good time. This is not about being embarrassed, right? So what do I wear? And so that's the one question, okay? When you own date night and you've planned it, you have to be really considerate. You're not going to plan something that your partner doesn't like to do. That's just not fair. That's not in the spirit of date night. Here's the whole thing about date night. Date night is about romance. Date night is about remembering who you were when you were dating. Remember that time? When before kids, before anything other than just infatuation and being together and spending time together, right? It was fun. You would do fun things, spend time doing the things that each of you liked. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't push the envelope a little bit, right? Because introducing your partner to something that you think that they'll like, but maybe you've never done it before. Hey, Bunny, Spicy Princess is back. No, just kidding. No, maybe not. Okay, so it's okay to do something that might be a little bit different than what they're used to, but you don't want to plan a date night that you know they're not going to like, or that they're going to be afraid, or that there's a possibility that it could just all go to shit. Okay, don't do that. That's not fun. That's just mean. So don't do that. Okay? Okay, so take turns planning. 3, talking topics. Okay, so this is so important. When you were back in the beginning and you were dating, you didn't talk about money. You didn't talk about your kids very much, hardly at all. You didn't talk about, I'm not going to say you didn't talk about hard things, because, in fact, when I look back on when we were dating, we talked about a lot of hard things, but not from a place of stress or arguing, but more like exploring how the other person thought, right? So when you're on date night, you want to be really cognizant that you don't want to bring up the things, the issues that you've got, right? The things that you are always fighting about or bickering about, if there are those things. And don't Don't spend your whole night talking about your children. The date night is for you. Date night is about you. So talk about the other things that you like to do. Like sometimes it can be really hard when you're parents to think of anything to talk about other than your kids, or if you run a business, your business and your jobs. So knowing that you're going to go on date night and that you're going to have to talk about something else, it might help you or spark an interest in something new so that you have something fun to bring to the conversation. Okay. So talking topics, no kids, no money, no stress. Banter. Remember what flirting is like? Like laughing, funny. I saw this. I can't remember what it was yesterday, whether it was an article that I read or whether it was a TikTok that I watched. Yes, I'm addicted to TikTok. But where they talked, it was a TED Talk. It was a TED Talk. And they were talking about how laughter it increases all of the same hormones and brain space as sex does. Makes you, when you laugh together, it actually, it has you release all of the same hormones that have you fall in love. Okay. So laughing is really great. I often tell people not to go to the movies simply because when you're on date night and you're at the movies, you can't really talk because it's quiet. You're supposed to be quiet, but everything else is up for grabs. Okay. And you know, since Alan and I don't go to the movies because pandemic, I'm under house arrest kind of. It's really funny to put it that way. That's what I call it. So he doesn't have a key. You know what I mean? So we don't go to the movies. And even before the pandemic, we didn't really go to the movies very much. But like he's taking me to the ballet for my birthday, which is in a couple weeks. Even though dance is not something that he really is interested in, he got the tickets. He heard about the tickets from a coworker and asked me if I wanted to go. And so, yes, are we going to be sitting next to each other watching a performance and being able to talk? No. But because it's not something that we do on a regular basis, we will then talk about it afterwards, right? And it is once in a while. So no movies except maybe once in a while. Music is always really fun. And in this time of pandemic, honestly, walking is the best date ever. Is pick a neighborhood and go for a walk. It's free. Talking while you walk is really great. I don't know what the chemical stuff is about it, but it always feels great. You can have much deeper conversations actually when you're walking side by side rather than looking at each other. That's actually a proven fact, especially for boys. For men, a lot of men, both adults and children, children, do better talking about vulnerable things when they're not looking at you. So walk and talk is always a great date. Okay, so talking topics. 4. Okay, this one gets a little mushy, so just going to tell you. I call it the gratitude moment. So every time you go on a date with your partner, you want to find some point during that date where you express your gratitude for the past week. Like what is something that happened that week, which they came to, like they made your life easier, or they did something for you that you really appreciated, or just something that you're really grateful for from the past week, or something that you really love about them that showed up that week that you noticed. Okay, this is a time to let the other person know really how much they're appreciated, because one of the things that happens when you're in a long-term relationship is you take people for granted and you forget to tell them how much you care and how important they are to you. So every time on date night, you want to take that time to tell each other why you love them and what makes them important to you. Okay. whether, and that's true whether you plan the date or whether you are the person being taken on the date. Each of you wants to take that time to tell the other person how much you love each other. Okay. And the most important thing is have fun. Like, have fun. That's so important. Okay, so I have a caveat about date night, and I'm just looking to see if this thing is actually running and if there are comments. Okay, great. Okay, so I want to say this. I think it's really, really important that you know that going on date night is not, there's never an obligation to end date night with sex. It's always fun when that happens, but it's not a have to. It's not a bribe to get you in bed. It's about being connected intimately. That has nothing to do with sex or not. Well, it's about remembering the pieces of you that really like each other. Does that make sense? Like, I never want anybody to feel like because they're scheduling or planning and having regular date nights with their partner, that means that they have to put out. That's how my mother would have said it. Actually, my mother would have said, have mufti pufti, but that's a whole other conversation. So, intimacy is an energetic state. It's not only about touching. So you can go on a date night and have a really, really good time with your partner and have that be the end of the evening. So I just want you to be really clear that is very important, that's set out there, because then if you do, that's always fun, right? Like, and I'm not saying that never mind. I'm not going down that tunnel because I no longer sell sex toys. We're not going there. Okay, so hopefully this was as much fun for you as it was for me. And if you've watched this far and I'm so interested in your opinions. Like, how do you have date night? Are there ways, are there strategies that you have around date night that I haven't mentioned? Because I'm always looking for ways to make this more fun. It's so easy as a business owner to lose touch with how important the people in our lives that matter the most to us are, because we take them for granted and we get single-mindedly focused in building in our businesses. So this is really, really important. Okay. So I'm going to say again, the 5 guidelines. So set a schedule, right? Take turns planning date night. Make sure that you have good talking topics, that you're leaving the talking topics that you're not going to have off the table, that you tell each other, you have a gratitude moment, tell each other what you appreciate about each other, and that you have fun. Okay. Like, I think that's so funny, mandating having fun, right? How do you really mandate having fun? But yes, I want you to mandate, this is all about having a good time. Okay. Is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, Valentine's Day is coming up, right? So for a couple weeks now, and certainly stronger this coming weekend, there's all of this hoopla around Valentine's Day. So date night and being in continual connection with your partner is not, Valentine's Day doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, Valentine's Day is really fun. And if you're the person who wants to go out and celebrate in a really big way, then do that. But, when you have it planned on a regular basis, when you are going to, that you're going to go on date night every other week or every week, then the importance of things like Valentine's Day, it's fun, but it's not like the end all be all of everything. So that's just one thing I want to say. The other thing I want to say is I got a lot of people when I was talking about doing this week saying, oh yeah, I'm single, I don't need those. So if you're single and you're watching this, if you got to this point and you're single, I want you to still have date night. Just have date night for yourself. Like, go take yourself on a date. So I have actually quite a few friends who do this. I'm going to cough. Hold on. It's what happens when I talk too much. So take yourself out for a date and show yourself how much you appreciate yourself. Go sit in a restaurant and read a book, or just be with your thoughts. I have a friend who does this every week. She picks a different restaurant. She takes her journal with her, and she journals and eats really good food and celebrates the week with herself. Like, I think that's great. So if you're single, take yourself out on a date, okay? Whether that, again, is a walk or, whatever is special to you, something that you aren't doing on a daily basis, okay? Okay, I think I'm done. Post any questions you have, okay? I never know how to end these things. Like, if you want the notes, tell me you want the notes. I love you guys. I hope you think this is as much fun as I do. Enjoy your date night this week. Yeah, bye. Mwah.